Meditation is supposed to be the most incredible experience of your life. Not just relaxing, not just calming, but incredible, like 100 times better than psychedelics incredible. Yogis lived in caves for 30 years alone because the inner world was that good. So if you're sitting there feeling nothing, something has gone seriously wrong and it's not you. Here's what happened. You probably tried a nap, or someone told you to focus on your breath, try a different technique, or fix your posture, just meditate more, just be consistent, and none of it worked. So you figured, maybe meditation just isn't for me. No, the problem isn't you. The problem is that everything you've been told about meditation is surface level advice from a system that completely butchered what meditation actually is. Meditation got popular, and when things get popular, they get sold. The Calm app sold for over $1 billion. There's Headspace, 10 minutes, focus on your breath, feel a little better, go about your day. That's not meditation. I'm sorry, but it's just not. That's a relaxation exercise with a meditation label on it. And look, no hate to those apps. If they help you relax, that's awesome. But they've also convinced an entire generation that meditation is this boring surface level thing where you sit still and try not to think, where the big achievement is, I felt a little more relaxed after 10 minutes. Meanwhile, actual meditation, completely different universe. My first teacher said something that changed everything for me. She said, your inner world is as infinite and as deep as the entire universe. Now, it took me a long time to understand that, but she wasn't being poetic at all. She meant it literally. So what I'm trying to tell you is, there is a party going on inside you right now. I know how crazy that sounds, but I'm telling you, there are experiences available in meditation that make the wildest psychedelic trip look like a screensaver. Feeling yourself as the entire universe, not metaphorically, but actually experiencing it, or tapping into this intelligence that's way bigger than your thoughts. Feeling connected to every person alive, or your heart getting so big it feels like it holds the whole world. And I'm not talking about some rare event after like 20 years on a mountain. These mystical experiences happen to me almost every time I sit now. It's not rare, it's not reserved for monks, it just requires something completely different from what you've been taught. So why aren't you experiencing any of this? And by the way, I don't care if you've been meditating for 6 months or 6 years. I know people who have had these experiences on day one. This isn't something you earn after 10,000 hours. If you're not experiencing it, the problem isn't time, it's approach. Because you're probably doing something, and meditation isn't about doing. Every technique you've been taught, focus on the breath, scan the body, count to 10, that's an activity. It's no different than going to the gym. You're making something happen, you're distracting yourself. But meditation is actually the opposite. Meditation is the one time we should not be distracting ourselves. Meditation is entirely about listening. And there's a universe of difference between making something happen and listening to what's already happening. Think of it like tasting chocolate. You could describe chocolate all day, examine it, touch it, do science experiments on it. But at the end of the day, you just need to get really quiet and taste it. And suddenly a whole world of flavor opens up that was always there. You just had to take it in. Well, your inner world works the exact same way. The experiences are already there. You just have to stop doing stuff long enough to notice them. So if you're not supposed to do anything, what are you supposed to do? Well, one word: respect. Pay your respects to whatever comes up, whatever's happening in your experience right now. Now that sounds so simple, it almost sounds pointless, but it is genuinely the most powerful thing I've ever found in 20 years of meditating, and all my teachers would say the same thing. You know the word namaste? I used to kind of roll my eyes at that. I'd see people at yoga saying namaste, and I'd think, okay, you bought a mat and now you're super spiritual. But namaste literally means I honor the divine in you. And that's actually exactly what meditation is. You're saying namaste to everything in your inner world. Here's what I mean. Right now, there are things that are probably bothering you. Tension in the body, or some racing thoughts, or low-level anxiety, that thing someone said to you yesterday that you're still replaying. Those things have been sort of sounding an alarm, trying to protect you. And they've been sounding it for so long that you've learned to just tune it out or push past it. But if you turn towards these discomforts gently and basically say, hey, thank you, I hear you, I totally got the message, they stop screaming. They relax, and what opens up behind them is extraordinary. There's a Hawaiian practice called Ho'oponopono, and it's 4 phrases. You say each one 3 times, and it's to whatever is at conflict. You say, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Please forgive me, please forgive me, please forgive me. I love you, I love you, I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You say this to anything that comes up, anything that's tight, anything that needs attention, and you can say it over and over until there's a real connection. And it works, not because they're magic words, but because you're giving that part of yourself permission to finally be what it actually is. You're letting it be fully seen. You know that friend who's just like really good at letting you be completely yourself? You know, you don't feel like you need a filter or a performance around them. You can just say whatever comes to mind. That's exactly what you want to be to all the parts of your own inner world. And here's the counterintuitive part. If you notice yourself wanting an experience, pushing for something to happen, honor that wanting and pushing too. Don't fight it. Just notice it. Because that pushing is the very thing that gets in the way of having deep experiences. Anytime we're trying to get something, we're not really listening. We're sort of projecting what we want to see in the world instead of letting us see the entire universe flowing through us naturally. So find whatever part of you is pushing and honor that. It can be a real effective lever for opening things up. And when you do this, when you really bow to whatever's there, things start to reveal themselves. That knot in your stomach that's been there for many years and you've been ignoring it, you give it respect and suddenly you're brought to tears and then you're laughing and then you feel lighter than you have in months. Or that seeming boredom in meditation, it opens up into this vast, quiet stillness that feels more real and peaceful than anything you've experienced. Even the smallest sensations, a little irritation here or mild ache, if you bow to it, sometimes it cracks open into this feeling of being connected to everything. And what's actually happening here is something like a miracle. I mean that literally. When something rigid finally gets honored, it transforms and it returns to what it actually is. It's also forgiveness. That's what forgiveness really is if you think about it. If you think about it, why would we ever even forgive? Why would the contraction ever let go? The mind always wants to get things right to the point of perfection. It would hold on to things forever if it could. So when forgiveness happens, it's actually miraculous. Your mind didn't figure it out. You didn't do it. Something deeper let go. And so to encourage that opening, we have to pay it this respect. And in that opening, you feel connected again. You feel whole. So meditation, when it's working, is really just one miracle after another. Some contraction in us that's at war and super tight and locked and we can't get anywhere. And then forgiveness happens. And that's a miracle. I know how that sounds, but it's really not woo-woo. It's just what happens. It happens all the time in regular meditation. And the openings feel more real than anything in regular life. Like, that's what you truly are. That's what life is about. And for some people, it's not like crazy fireworks. It's quieter than that, but the depth is just as real. It changes how you see the world, how you connect with people, how you move through your day. Not everyone gets crazy cosmic visions. Some people have more mystical experiences than others, but everyone who is deeply practicing gets the depth. And honestly, the depth is all that matters. There was a kid at a retreat that I went to. He was super nerdy looking and he would bow to everything. He'd bow to his chair before he sat. He'd bow to his food before he ate, or the door, or this person. And I was kind of laughing at him because I thought it was ridiculous. But now that I look back at it, I realize he was onto something that the rest of us missed. Okay, so let's make this real. Here's what I'd actually suggest. First, sit for 40 minutes. Now, I know that sounds like a ton, but things genuinely start to shift around 35 minutes for most people. Even if you've been sitting there for 25 minutes, screwing around, thinking about lunch, feeling like you're doing it wrong, something loosens at 35 minutes. Things just get more raw, more real. The stuff at the base of what's actually going on tends to surface and soften there. You can't rush that with a 10-minute session. And the truth is, if you're doing meditation the right way, you'll want to sit for longer. If you're doing it with one of those guided apps, you'll actually can't wait for it to be over. And everyone who's ever actually sat with me and meditated deeply for 40 minutes, no one's ever complained about it being too long. People thought they wouldn't be able to do it, but at the end, it was quite nice. At a certain point, maybe 15, 20 minutes in, it starts to become very pleasurable to sit. Second, drop the techniques. No breath counting, no mantras, no body scan, just sit. Whatever's happening, we let it happen. If there's a racing mind, fine. Anxiety, fine. Boredom, fine. Don't change any of it. Just notice it. The perfect meditation would be to not alter your experience at all. Now that sounds insane. It sounds like nothing would happen, but try it. This is actually the most profound meditation there is and often leads to the most profound experiences. Third, respect whatever shows up. When the discomfort comes, when the thoughts won't stop, don't push them away. Turn towards them gently. Give them this space. Thank them and mean it. They've been working overtime to protect you. Fourth, sit still. All those little shifts and adjustments you make, they're interrupting your attention right when it's about to deepen. And this is going on all throughout the day, by the way. So get comfortable at the start. Shift a few times if you need to get comfortable, but then there's a natural stillness that comes. And once you sort of commit to it, it actually becomes more easy to just stay with it. And if you want a bridge to get started, use a guided meditation just for the first 5 or 10 minutes, but not the commercial app kind, the kind that asks open-ended questions and then gets out of the way. I've actually posted some free ones on my website. There's a link below. It's unguided.org. And they're designed to take you deeper instead of keeping you on the surface. And a good guided meditation will leave you wanting to keep sitting. You actually won't want to stop at 10 minutes. That's how you know it's working. And one more thing, if there's a voice in your head saying, I need to meditate for 5 more years before any of this happens to me, that's your mind's favorite trick, the putting it off program, the putting it off mechanism. I've seen people have out of this world experiences on their very first sit. This is not something you earn after a decade. It's available right now. The only question is whether you'll stop doing all this stuff and start just honoring what's already there. I am genuinely frustrated that meditation has gotten this misunderstood. It got popular, which is wonderful, but it also got watered down into this thing that people think is about relaxing for 10 minutes. And people are walking away thinking, I tried meditation, it just wasn't for me. No, you tried a relaxation exercise. You haven't tried meditation yet. The real thing, it should make you excited to sit down. It should be the highlight of your day. It should feel like exploring the deepest ocean on the planet where every single time it's completely different and you discover something new that profoundly changes your life. There's a whole universe in there and it's yours. So go sit with it, respect it, and see how it changes your life. And thanks for being here.